What's up, beautiful people? Welcome to my channel. Thank you for tuning in. I am a spiritual bodybuilder, and today I'm going to talk to you about 5 things to consider before fasting. Now, fasting is a really massive group of ideas and processes, and there are many things to consider before jumping into this. Now, people in the fitness industry, people in the spiritual industry, if you want to say that, and even people that are dealing with like autoimmune diseases and cancer and whatnot. These are everybody and anybody. I would say that as an adult can benefit in some way, shape, or form from fasting. But because there are so many different ways you can do this and so many different things to consider, here are the 5 things that I personally recommend to look at before deciding to fast. Okay? So number 1, what is the nature of your fast? Depending on your circumstances in life, are you trying to lose fat? Are you trying to detoxify your body? Are you going for a spiritual experience? All these things, depending on how you approach it, are very important factors in identifying, what it is that you want to accomplish. You have to look at the end result. What is the desired outcome? Okay. Now, there are so many different rabbit holes that you can go down, when dealing with this. So, make sure fasting doesn't mean you just stop eating food or stop drinking water. Okay. Fasting can be just only taking in certain nutrients and macronutrients and micronutrients. It can be to, increase the availability or absorption of other nutrients. Okay. If you have cancer, there are certain types of fasting that can help to kill off the cancer. Okay. And we'll go more into that in some more detail, but you want to clarify, write down, what is your purpose? And if your purpose is, let's say, for example, your purpose is you want a spiritual experience, right? Well, your body basically has to go through a number of processes in order to get to this place where it's basically eating itself. Okay. But when it gets to that point, it will actually secrete higher amounts of dimethyltryptamine. And when your body starts to do this, you will have an experience similar to that of like a very deep meditative state, right? DMT is the main ingredient in the brew ayahuasca, which awakens the mind and the soul. And, it's been practiced for thousands and thousands of years, ever since the beginning of time, to, avoid food. But in order to get to this place, you have to fast for at least 5 days. Once you hit that 5-day mark, now the body starts to really take on like a whole new sort of feast or famine kind of aspect. And, so it's unhealthy in other ways. If you're trying to, maintain muscle and lose body fat, this will not be for you. Okay. But that's why, depending on the nature of what you do, you can't just look up fasting and take any kind of approach to get the desired result, because the different ways of fasting will have very, very, very different outcomes. Okay, so bear that in mind. Number 2 reason that you want to, or a thing that you want to consider before you start fasting, is what is the state of your digestion? Okay, so if our body is very toxic, or if, say, we have an autoimmune disease, right, and it's not processing nutrients well, this is going to create a very detoxifying aspect in the body. Now, it can get stuck. So you may need to add in a cleanse or a detox on top of the detoxification aspects of fasting. Okay, for example, Gerson therapy is excellent for cancer patients in conjunction with a ketogenic or intermittent fasting type of a diet. Now, this is longer term because it took the body a long time for those metastatic cells to grow into cancer cells, right? So when we're in this place, it's going to take a while to retrain the habits at the cellular level for that to turn around. Now, Gerson therapy is a great protocol to detoxify the body, to activate glutathione production through the liver, and to hydrate all the feces that are sitting in the large intestine, and allow that to activate the peristalsis to get that moving. And there's a slight toxifying aspect of coffee enemas, which go along with the Gerson therapy. It's basically what it is, right? But that toxicity activates the parts of the immune system that look for the toxins to purge them out. Okay. Now, when you add in, a ketogenic diet with intermittent fasting, now your body is only getting nutrients so often, and it's triggering the digestion and the immune system to go look. It's called autophagy. Okay. Autophagy is basically a signaling system in the immune system that targets and looks for cellular debris. And now, depending on the state of the immune system, will be efficient or not so efficient. But that's why you have to speak to a professional to really identify and understand exactly what you're dealing with, so that you can create a proper protocol for you. Okay. So number 3, we need to consider is looking at your overall goal. Okay. Which we kind of touched on at the beginning, but, really look deep down and ask yourself, what do you want to gain from this? If you're in a place in life where you just know that you need to make a change, your lifestyle, and your state of health is not where you want it to be, and you want to be around for your children or your grandchildren, or you want to get in better shape, or you had something really bad like a car accident, you got hurt, or there are so many things in this day and age with the environmental toxins that are just building up gunk in the body. Identify your overall goal. I think that should be number 1. And then once you identify your overall goal, then we look at the nature of the fast and exactly how you're going to structure this process in order to be able to get to where you want to go. Okay. Number 4, what are your life circumstances like right now? Fasting is incredibly effective, but we also have to consider, what we have going on in life. Are we working 60 hours a week? Do we have to take care of children all day long? Are we really stressed out and tired? Because, the fasting can affect your energy levels quite a bit. When you cut food out, especially if you've been eating a lot of junk, or if you've been on the SAD diet, the standard American diet, there's going to be a very strong, powerful detoxification process that may make you feel like crap for a few days. So can you afford to feel like crap, or do you need to take it like one step at a time and slowly approach this process so that you can, slowly wean off certain things, or, slowly cut things out, or maybe add some things in order to be able to function on a day-to-day place? Because, life isn't always super convenient. And when these things hit, they never, ever hit at a time that everything is just lined up for you to deal with it, right? You need to find a way to be able to function in day-to-day life while still taking care of yourself. Okay. So make sure you consider your life circumstances. And I recommend writing all this stuff down, so you can really see and take a step back and look like, all right, I have all these things to consider. Okay, how can I do this and live with myself every day? It can interrupt sleep patterns. Okay, so I know I had times when I was competing in bodybuilding where I struggled with, binge eating and eating disorders and things like that. Because you restrict yourself so hard for so long. Afterwards, you get that taste of sugar, and then it usually creates a candida imbalance, or an imbalance in your microbiome. When you do that, those bacteria they crave that sugar, and then that throws your entire endocrine system off. So if you've been doing that for a while or something like that, and then you just stop, your hunger is going to be out of control, and that's going to affect your energy, and that's going to affect your brain. And you also have to consider, do you fall into hypoglycemia really easy, or are you pre-diabetic? You know, you have to be careful with the fluctuations of your leptin and ghrelin and of your insulin and glucagon, okay? Because too big of a fluctuation can throw you off, and you go too deep into hypoglycemia, and you're not going to be able to function, okay? So again, and there are ways that you can guide yourself through these processes, getting keto strips and measuring your blood sugar, you know, from time to time, to see how your body best responds to the different aspects of the fasting, okay? So number 5, once you have all these things figured out and you know how you're going to go and you know what kind of fasting you're going to do, okay, I'm going to do a, you know, 16-hour a day intermittent fasting, ketogenic style, and I'm going to, you know, do this for the next month. I'm going to, you know, up my carbs or refeed, you know, on Saturday and Sunday, and do that Monday through Friday. I'm going to do a 1 coffee enema a week, blah, blah, blah. Okay. We want to identify the optimal complementary protocols that can go along with this. So there's each one of these things that are in addition to the fasting, it can help to complement the efficacy and the efficiency of how the body runs and how the body purges out toxins. For example, let's say that we are fasting intermittently to get ready for a fitness event, right? But our digestion has been all backed up. You know, we haven't, you know, taken a decent number 2 in like 3 weeks because we've been really stressed out. Okay. A series of a few colonics may help. You know, we want to clean out the pipes, because that's where all the toxins really are held, between that and the lymphatic system. You know, and we've eaten protein consistently high for, you know, a number of months, and that can leave, you know, residue when we're extremely stressed out and we're eating a medium to high protein diet consistently. Those proteins don't always break down fully in our stomach, and when they don't, they get stuck in the lining of the small intestines because we don't have enough hydrochloric acid. You know, stress reduces hydrochloric acid secretion levels dramatically. And so when we're in that state, we don't have enough hydrochloric acid in our stomach, and chances are we're not chewing our food quick enough. So those proteins don't unfold all the way, because hydrochloric acid makes the proteins unfold in order to be prepared to be digested at the next level in the small intestine. When that happens, these slightly unfolded proteins start to get stuck like gunk, like a spider web on the inside of the lining of the small intestines. When that happens, it prevents enzymes and bacteria from doing their job in that particular place, which creates an osmotic pressure that doesn't allow those substances to move through like they're supposed to. So what happens then? Then this pathogenic bacteria comes in and, you know, likes it, and that's where candida basically starts. And candida is just like a fungus, right? It's a type of bacteria that ferments basically, and when it ferments, it off gases, and when it off gases, that leaks into the blood system and the lymphatic system. And then these proteins will start to absorb through the lining of the small intestines. Now we have irritable bowel syndrome, right? And when that happens, all these proteins, they'll be absorbed into the lymphatic system after it goes through the circulatory system, because the lymphatic system is designed to it's like the trash compactor of the body, right? It's a secondary immune system. It's how our body flushes things out. Well, you know, with this day and age, with all these environmental toxins in our world, our lymphatic system is getting overworked because the immune system is being so stressed already. And once there are proteins that are stuck in the bulbs of our lymphatic system, then that can't process, you know, efficiently. Especially if you use, you know, like if you've had a lot of medications, or, you know, you've consumed a lot of aluminum through, like, you know, adjuvants, vaccines, through using like toxic products that you put on your skin, you know, deodorant, things like that. All those things play a part in clogging up our system. So if you have a hard time sweating, or if you have hyperhidrosis, which is over sweating in the armpits, or your sweat smells really, really bad, probably means that it's blocked up by some of these proteins that are infused with all these toxic chemicals and heavy metals and waste products. So what can we do about that? Well, fasting will help with that, but we need, multiple different facets of our body to process these things. And if one gets stuck, then it's all going to come to that filter that's stuck. And that filter is just going to recirculate everything because it can't function properly. So we have infrared saunas that are specifically designed to help purge out all these toxins. It pulls out all the gunk that's in our lymphatic system, right? Because how do we clean our lymphatic system? Through sweating, okay? Red light therapy will do a similar thing, but that more like breaks down the molecules inside the body. Red light therapy, you won't sweat as much, but it'll help to process it into the circulatory system, then help the body regularly get rid of it more efficiently. Oxygen hyperbaric therapy, okay? In an oxygen hyperbaric chamber, the oxygen, you have about 96 to 99% pure oxygen being pumped into this little tube or tank that you sit in, and it gets up to the equivalent pressure of being 30,000 feet in a plane. Excuse me. And that pressurization with the oxygen, it pushes through all the cellular tissue. It's really great for regenerating mitochondria. Okay. And what is one of the most common autoimmune deficiencies? It's mitochondrial dysfunction, or at least that's the effect of most autoimmune diseases out there. Okay. So we want our mitochondria to be firing on all cylinders and be working properly. And oxygen hyperbaric chamber therapy is really good at purging out whatever toxins are holding that mitochondria back from functioning the way it's meant to. So that'll be another good way to purge out some of these toxins. We can also use, cryotherapy. All right, cryotherapy is another great one. That cryotherapy gets you really, really cold. You get into this pod, or they also have like ice box looking things that you just walk into, and they get down to about negative 275 degrees Fahrenheit. Now you're in there for about 2.5 to 3 minutes, and in that 3 minutes, your body gets so cold so quick that your body can't respond. It sort of shocks it, and when it shocks the body into that coldness, when it bounces back, it hyperactivates the immune system. It's great for inflammation, great for strengthening the immune system, great for sleep, but really, again, at the core of pretty much every imbalance in the body is stress and inflammation, right? And if our inflammation response is out of whack, that usually means that our digestion is out of whack, our mental state is out of balance, and we're not feeling so hot. We're probably not, going to the bathroom efficiently either, which is very important, okay? So we want to identify these things and say, okay, what is the root cause? What is the problem going on in my body? Is it inflammation? Is my lymphatic system toxic? Is my immune system, beat up? Am I just super stressed out? How do I, for stress, floating, sensory deprivation tank is excellent. That's this pod that you get into that is filled with water that's like about 2 feet high, and it has 1,200 pounds of Epsom salt in it. Now it is light and soundproof. Now some places will play like binaural beats or meditation music in there, but the point is that it knocks out 2 out of your 5 senses, and the Epsom salt makes you float higher, right? So it activates your parasympathetic nervous system about 90% more efficiently and faster than without it. Okay, so when we're able to do that, we get to relax. And when when many people these days are stuck in fight or flight mode, right? So this is really good for people that are super stressed out and that are just go, go, go and never stop consuming a lot of caffeine and whatnot. This will help to relax the mind, relax the body, activate the alpha and theta brain waves. And that will really help to reset the body from that fight or flight response. And then what does the body do when it's in parasympathetic dominant state? Rest and digest. So it allows blood flow to get back into the enteric nervous system and the gut, and allows it to do its work down there. Because when we're in fight or flight consistently, we have a much more difficult time digesting food. We don't secrete enough hydrochloric acid or other digestive enzymes in order to break down the food. And all the body, the body turns into sort of a centrifuge with blood flow. And when that happens, all the blood sort of remains in our extremities. and it does not fully transfer back to the gut. And our gut is where all our organs are. So our organs aren't getting the nurturing that they need. And also when that happens, it interferes with nutrient absorption. So our body isn't absorbing nutrients. There isn't a whole lot of bioavailability. And we're just, peeing whatever we're taking or eating really right out. And that's if you're going to the bathroom efficiently. Okay. So these are all things to consider when you're getting ready to fast. You want to combine these things as efficiently and specifically as possible for your specific situation and your specific issues. Now, part of my coaching, I do astrology, but I'm also a health and wellness coach. And this is part of what I do. I help people to identify the problems that are going on in their body, in their mind, in their life, and to structure exactly what protocols to establish so that we can get back to homeostasis and balance and be functioning optimally, mind, body, and spirit, so that we can attack, life's obstacles in the most efficient and beneficial way possible. So if you'd like to work with me, please go to trinityfitnessastrology.com. I would love to work with you. And hopefully I'll see you soon. And I'll be making many more videos just like this. And if you have any more specific questions about this content, because there are so many different ways that this can go, please comment below, let me know. And please like, share, and subscribe if you find this information beneficial. And, I'm happy to bring more content to you guys. I love you, and I hope you have a blessed day. Take care of yourself.